Okay, I'm live. I haven't done this before. And do you know how many times I retook my thumbnail because I'm scary to look at? Anyway, my purpose, and excuse me, I have dry eyes, so it's actually waters a lot. So that's why they call it dry eye. Anyway, so I was actually thinking, I I want to share the gospel with as many people as I can. And I do my best on a daily basis, wherever I'm at. Uh, and the time is exceptionally short. The window of opportunity, the window of grace is coming to a close. Now, I listen to a lot of really good people. I listen to J.D. Farag, F-A-R-A-G, from Calvary Chapel, Kaneohe, Hawaii. I listen to Jan Markell, Markell. I want you guys to know who these people are. She's from Olive Tree Ministries. I listen to, wow, there's a lot of people. These people give Bible prophecy updates, and they really know how to do this well. They know how to give the information where it links to Bible prophecy. Very good stuff. You guys should really check them out. I also listen to Amir, first name Amir, A-M-I-R, last name Sarfati. I'd write this down, but it's my first time with YouTube, and I don't know how to do that. So his last name's Sarfati, T-S-A-R-F-A-T-I. He's over at Behold Israel. I listened to Pastor Tim Henderson, Chad Thomas at Watchman on the Wall 88, Pastor Jack Hibbs, Hibbs, Calvary Chapel, California. I listened to Don Stewart. There's a ton of people. These would be really good people to go to because, see, the thing is, I was really contemplating on going live on YouTube. I've never done this in my life, and I was putting it off and thinking and making up all kinds of excuses why I can't. One thing is that I have a bad eye and I would look horrible and scare people. So obviously I'm not going to go live. That would be horrible. Okay, that's one excuse. And then I'd have many others. Oh, I need to clean the house. Well, I need to do this. Oh, I'm going to be going to work. Oh, and on it went. And then one day I get online and I'm listening to the people that I told you about that I normally listen to. And it was interesting because Chad Thomas, he said, now is the time to rise up. You need to rise up. All of us need to rise up together and get people prepared. Yeah, okay. Then I listened to J.D. Farag. He said, now is the time. And I don't know if you've ever heard that parable that Jesus gave with the talents. One person was given 10 talents, and they got 10 extra talents. Another person, I think, then they had, well, let's see. Then you had one person that was given one talent and they buried that talent because they, out of fear. This is fear. I've never done this before. It is fear, even though I'm speaking to a camera. It is fear. And here I'm thinking, I'm taking that talent, because I don't think I've got 10 talents, and I'm sure all of us at least have one. And I'm burying it because of fear. And I might be causing one other person to not come to Christ. So the thing is, I need to make this short. Because our time is precious. We work, we have families, we have a lot of things that we do, and we just don't have time to sit for an hour video. I mean, maybe with a pastor, but not someone like me. We don't know the time, the day, and the hour for the rapture. We don't, but we do know the season. We can know the season, and we are in the season, okay? How we know this? Mega sign is Israel becoming a nation in 1948. That's mega. And Jesus said, that generation won't pass. It will not pass until all of these things and so many things, wars, rumors of wars, violence. Check out 2 Timothy chapter 3. It goes on. Check out Luke chapter 21. Jesus talks about it. Matthew chapter 24, Jesus talks about it. Mark chapter 13, Jesus talks about it. All of those signs, and all of these signs are converging. And those people, those names that I gave you, check their stuff out, because they really put things into perspective really, really well. It's very important for you to get this information. And so I can say we're in the season. And the urgency, I can't even begin to express the urgency that I feel. I've known about the rapture ever since my high school. And that was, I don't know, many moons ago, like 100 years ago. And I was excited then. I was excited. But I know that rapture is imminent, but deep down inside, I kind of knew it wasn't at that time, but I wanted to be ready anyway, because you want to be ready anyway, because I will tell you something. You don't know, rapture or no rapture, you don't know when God's going to call upon your life. You have to be ready. You could go tonight. Just God could take you tonight. Didn't have to be the rapture. God can take you tonight. I have a story of this woman that I worked with when I lived in Southern California. And her and her husband, they had dinner with their family, and all they were doing was driving home on a simple road. A simple road. It wasn't the highway, freeway, anything like that, just a simple, quiet road. And as they were driving home, somehow, out of the blue, a car jumped the divider, went in the opposite direction, and smashed into their vehicle. And the husband was driving, and the vehicle went right into him. And the lady that I worked with witnessed this whole thing in a split second. That's how fast it can happen. And I know that some people think, yeah, well, that's them, but it's not going to happen to me. You're not invincible. It can happen to anybody. You've got to be ready. That's why the gospel is so important. And on this video, this first one, if it, I don't want to say successful, but my purpose is for this one, if I ever do another one again, this one is to get the gospel out. And I like the ABCs of salvation. Tim Henderson gives it. J.D. Farag gives it. Look at his prophecy updates. He gives it every time. You can share it with your friends. You can share it with your family. And I would share it anyway. Don't have fear. Just do it. And don't worry about making mistakes. I'm sure I've made plenty in the last several minutes. But the ABCs of salvation, the A stands for admit you're a sinner. Verses, Romans 3:10, Romans 3:23, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Romans 6:23, for the wages of sin is death, and you don't want that death. That is eternal death. No matter what you believe, if you're an atheist, if agnostic, if you just say if you're just thinking, I'm so sick of hearing about death and the rapture and all the stuff, I just want to live my life. You're not going to be living forever, okay? As a human being. Um, we're talking about eternity. You've got to think about eternity, because that's what it's about, is eternity, forever and ever and ever and ever. And I'm going to tell you, if you've ever had a nightmare and you woke up from that nightmare so thankful that you woke up, if you don't want Jesus in your life, you will go on into eternity and you will be separated. I don't know what that's like, but it isn't a good thing. You will be in a nightmare and you will never, ever, ever wake up. That's why suicide is such a bad thing. If your life is really horrible, please don't commit suicide. If you think, I have to get rid of this life, you may be a teenager that is being physically abused, verbally abused. You may think yourself so ugly, unworthy, you have nothing to offer. Rejection is high. You may be a person in such financial misery, you don't see any way out. You have debtors that they're going to destroy your life, or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's drug deals. I don't know. And you think, man, they're going to come after me, after my family. You may be having an illness and you're in such massive pain. It could be Lyme disease. It could be cancer. It could be a mental illness. It could be OCD. It could be anything. And you're saying you just don't understand the misery I'm in. Let me tell you, the misery that you experience right now does not compare to the misery you will experience without Jesus throughout eternity. Think of the situation you're in right now. And someone telling you, well, that's it. It's never going to change. You can't leave it. You're in this, you will be in this misery forever. That's how it will be. Forever. Don't commit suicide. Do not leave this life without Jesus. And Jesus is not here to condemn you. He said, I did not come here to condemn. This is the period of grace. No matter what anybody tells you, you go to the Word. It's the Word and nothing less. It's the Word. And I would suggest you start in the Gospel, the book of John. I think that's a good place to start. And some people, wherever you're at, they start other places, and it's where God leads. Okay. I mean, one woman, she started in the very beginning in the book of Genesis because she wanted to know about Abraham. That's where God led her, and she was blessed. So it's where you're at and where God leads you. I don't know where you're at, so I always suggest the Gospel, of John. Because in the Gospel of John, it speaks about salvation. Jesus is very clear. John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Ephesians 2:8-9, for by grace you are saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It's not works, so that no man will boast. Can you imagine being in heaven or our eternal state. And all we hear about is boasting. Well, my mansion is like huge because, I gave to charities and I did this and I did that. And what did you do? I mean, obviously not much because you live in a box. Anyway, that would be a living nightmare. And that's just not what the eternal state is about. It is not about works, period. And you may get angry about that and whatever, but period. So you need to admit that you're a sinner. You can't have pride. That's how Satan fell. And a third of the angels, pride. You cannot have pride. You've got to come to the seat of Christ, humble, and bow before him and have sanctified repentance that you really are sorry. And it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what you've done. And you may think it is just too bad. You have no idea. That's why Jesus paid such a high price. So admit that you're a sinner and then believe on the name of Jesus, the second member of the Trinity, the Word. John 1:1, the Word. In the beginning was the Word. He was born of a virgin. Had to be. 100% man, 100% God. God does not ask you to understand that. Don't put God in a box. He doesn't ask you to understand it. It's by faith. By faith. Read Hebrews 11, the whole faith chapter, but it's by faith. Born of a virgin and sacrificed himself, shed his blood on the cross, and physically died. Said it is finished. He physically died. And because he is God, he conquered death and he rose again. He's the first fruits. That's why he says that we will be the same. If we believe in him, our physical shell will go back to dust, but our spirit goes to be with him. And then what the rapture is that's the first resurrection. The dead in Christ rise first. They get their new bodies, and then we who are alive are caught up with them in the clouds, and we get our brand new bodies, which sounds science fiction. That's why I think people have a hard time believing it. That's just too fantastic, too surreal. And I'm sorry, it may be, sounds that way, but I believe it with all my heart. You have to believe it with all your heart. And then call on his name. Call on his name, Jesus. Save me. I believe in who you are. Call on his name and be saved, be transformed this day. Well, it's 18 minutes. I meant to do 10. Anyway, God bless you all. I'm going to try to get other messages like, I want to encourage. My purpose for being here is encouraging the saints, encouraging you and supporting you. Please don't give up hope. Don't get discouraged that the rapture hasn't happened, because you're going to be there. You're going to be with Jesus. You're going to be there, period. You're going to be there. And I know some people say, I don't like to think about it because it just depresses me because it's not happening. Well, think about it. When you get ready for a vacation, even if it's a year down the road, you look at your pamphlets and it's exciting. It's exciting. Think about it. Think about all of a sudden, there we are in the clouds with Jesus. And you say, here we are. Here we are. And God could be saying, yeah, it's going to happen like today. I don't know. I don't set dates. I don't set dates at all. No hour dates at all. I'm ready thinking that it is today. And I have a note that says maybe today. And I'm just ready. I want to be ready. I want to be faithful. I don't want to hide my talent. I want to be faithful. You're going to be there. You are going to be there. You're going to be there with your loved ones and Jesus. And you're going to be like, here we are. And Jesus is going to say, here we go. Now it's time. We are going to have the Bema seat. And it is not condemnation. It's rewards for faithfulness. It's washing, it's cleansing. And then the marriage. Think about it. Get excited about it. I want you to be encouraged. Stay encouraged on a daily basis. On a daily basis. Plan. Occupy your time. Plan. You can minister wherever you are. Be kind to people, the fruit of the Spirit. Demonstrate the fruit of the Spirit wherever you're working, going in the grocery store, the gas station, wherever you are. Take little leaflets from your church that talk about the gospel, my talent is not teaching. My talent is not preaching. It's not a talent. I apologize if I have ruined anyone's 21 minutes. It's not, but I do know the gospel, and it is my responsibility to share it the best that I can. And I hope that I have done so. And I'm sure that when I leave this stream, I'm going to be going, I should have said, I should have done. Anyway, I did the best that I could because I care about each and every one of you, which is extremely important. Okay, Jesus is doing all of this not for a group project. It's for individuals, for you in particular. He loves you in particular, and he wants you in particular in his eternity, which is not floating in space on a cloud playing the harp. The world is going to be renewed. So, the meek shall inherit the earth. All of you are worth it. God bless you this day. And I hope you have a fantastic week. And again, don't be discouraged. Be encouraged. Okay? All right. Well, I hope I've been encouraging, and I hope you understood the gospel, the good news. So, okay. I will talk to you later. And again, I apologize for my eye. Maybe it'll look better next time. Okay. You guys take care. Bye-bye.